Okay, this is a deluxe balcony room on the MSC Seascape, leaving from Miami. As we walk in, there is the bed. You have a reading light, an additional light on either side of the bed. Here you have the closet, plenty of shelves. There's the safe. You even have some drawers on the bottom. The only thing about this closet is that it does have sliding doors, so you can only access one side at a time. So here you'll have your space for hanging clothes. Other than that, it's a good size. There is a bunk bed, convertible sofa. I'm not sure what that looks like. I won't show it to you because I have no need for additional bedding in this room. There's already 2 people in this room. To me, that's enough. Some nice art on the wall. Of course, the balcony, which we'll get to. Has some shelving here on the other side of the mirror. Nice space. You are going to have your mini bar. You do have multiple drawers here. Underneath, you will have a stool that you can sit on. And then there's also a table. So it's nice that you can put them away when not in use, or if you have no use for them. Those who need some workspace, to work on a laptop and whatnot. I'm sure that stool might be a little tiring to sit on for too long of a period of time. So you probably would want to sit on the sofa. So of course you have your TV. It's a really good sized TV. It does come out from the wall, so you can watch TV from bed. As you notice, the walls are magnetic. This is kind of a nifty fan that I like to have just for some air circulation, especially at night, and for some noise. And since it has magnets on the bottom, it was able to stick to the wall. So, pretty nice. You do have a master light switch here on both sides of the bed, but only on one side of the bed do you have a USB port, which, it would have been nice if they had it on both sides. Also, on either side of the bed, you do have a small side table, a couple of cubbies in there. So if you do use it, be sure you check them when you're going to leave, when you're going to disembark, because I'm sure it might be easy to forget that they're there. So let's go ahead and head towards the restroom area. Again, these walls are magnetic. I normally would have multiple magnetic hangers on here, but this room does have 3 hangers built in, which are very useful right here at the door, so that way you can hang your lanyard if you use one. Of course, you can have your information about exactly where you are on the ship. Again, this is room 14031, so deck 14. And we're not all the way forward. We're almost midship, so we're in between midship and forward, which is not bad. And so, of course, here's another look at exactly where we're at. We are on the port side. Okay, so of course you have slot here for your room key to make sure you have power in the room. Here, which I thought was kind of nifty, is you have lights for do not disturb or to make up room. That will signal the porter that it's okay to come in to go ahead and make up your room if you need. Of course, you have your temperature control, the all-important temperature control. This is your light for the bathroom, and here's the bathroom. Now, I do like the color scheme. It's not just a plain run-of-the-mill white. It's a kind of a beige color, with a little contrast there on the bottom. You will notice that there are some shelves here on the wall, which is, of course, always helpful in a smaller bathroom. There is a towel rack here. They do have washcloths. Sometimes MSC doesn't always provide the washcloths, but you can always just ask your room porter, and they can provide you for some. We do have our bath towels on this side of the rack, and then hand towels as well. What I will say is I kind of do like the sink being in the corner, and it's deep. Usually they're very shallow, and you do have some space down here. There's the waste can and the extra roll of toilet paper. There's a small shelf there on the side, and with a towel there, which is typically the towel that you would put outside of the shower. So when you step out, you can step out onto the towel. They do have a built-in soap pump. I know some people might recommend bringing your own soap. There really is no need unless you really have a particular type of soap that you just can't live without. Then, of course, that's personal choice. Looks like here they have a mirror that you can really get a close-up look at yourself. So, I'm sure some people have need for that. So here's the shower. So, open this. Okay. So, of course, here you will notice that there is a line that you can hang wet clothes, like your swimsuit after you come back from the pool. You can hang in here. There's good space in here. You have your shampoo and body wash. I usually bring a bar of soap. Actually, it's a shampoo and a shower gel. It's right there on the wall. Like I said, I typically bring my own bar of soap, just because that's what I prefer. Shampoo, it's not a big deal for me. It's like I don't have long hair, I have very short hair, almost none. So, shampoo's not such a big deal. But for those of you who, need to have your particular type of shampoo and conditioner, then of course you can bring it. Bring them in those small little silicone tubes. It'll be easy to carry around. So if you notice, the shower head does look really low, but it does adjust. It's like you just let's see if I can figure it out. There's a button back here. Trust me, it adjusts. I think I need two hands to do it. So there's your shower. It's in the corner. It's it's a typical cabin room shower. That's what you typically find unless you're in a fancy suite, which this is not, but it's nice. Now, what I will tell you about this room is originally I booked an interior cabin. And of course, which many cruise lines will do, they will send you an offer where you can make a bid to upgrade your room. Of course, it's optional. They kind of let you know, what would be a good bid, and on MSC, I noticed that obviously the higher bid that you entered, the more favorable it said it was. So what I did, since I had never stayed in an interior cabin before, I was getting second thoughts about it after I booked, because this is a 7-night trip. It's the first time being on a 7-night trip, and that was going to be the first time that I was ever in an interior room. So I got cold feet. I saw the offer. I kind of thought, you know what? I will try to make a bid for an ocean view. So I did put in a bid, and I did it really late. It was within a week of departure. And lo and behold, MSC accepted my bid. It only took 24 hours before they got back to me, so that they accepted my bid. So I was kind of excited because I figured, okay, well now I'm going to be on deck 5 in an ocean view because on this ship, the Seascape, the ocean view rooms are only on deck 5, and so I was looking forward to it. So when I checked to see what the room assignment was, because that's the thing about making a bid on the room is that you can't specify where it's going to be. So I wanted to find out, of course, just for my sake, where it was going to be. And lo and behold, it showed that I was up on deck 14. And from what I knew of this ship, there are no ocean views on deck 14 other than balcony ocean view rooms. And so, upon further investigation, it did turn out that they put me in a deluxe balcony room, which technically, yes, it is an ocean view, but I was, like I said, that's not the room I actually bid on. I didn't bid on a balcony room. I bid on an ocean view room, but they went ahead and bumped me up to the balcony. So, thanks MSC. I appreciate it. I was expecting the typical lower deck 5 ocean view with a porthole, but hey, I'm not mad at a balcony room, obviously. So again, it is on deck 14, so it's a higher deck. I've never been this high on the ship. I'm usually like around deck 8, deck 9, the past cruises that I've been on. But deck 14, I'm not mad at. Great views, and it is, like I said, a little bit forward on the ship, but it's not all the way forward. So I'm fine with it. It seems like it's going to turn out great. So of course you do have a mirror. Again, I probably already touched on that. You have your telephone there, which I'm glad it's up off the desk. It's on the wall because let's be honest, you're not really going to be using that phone very often, so it doesn't need to be on the desk taking up room. You do see that there are some power outlets here. You do have 2 regular American outlets. You do have 2 USB outlets. You do have your light control here, and the other one I believe is for the balcony light outside, which you wouldn't be able to see. It's still daylight. You do have the European style outlet, so it's really easy to get one of the adapters online, so that way you have 2 more outlets if you need. I use a combination of the European outlet adapters, and then I also have the portable battery charger for my phone. I went ahead and used it because I couldn't find a wire for my phone to charge it, so I just went ahead and used the portable one, which I will go ahead and recharge overnight, so that way I can have it when I go on an excursion. Like I said, this is a 7-night itinerary. We're going to be heading out at sea all day tomorrow. On day 3, we're going to be in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. Day 4, we're going to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then we'll have 2 days at sea on the way back, and we'll make a stop at the private island of Ocean Key, which I'm really looking forward to. Able to get some good video shots from there as well. And then, of course, the morning of day 8, we'll be back in Miami. That's going to be the saddest day of the trip because that's when you have to get off, unless you have another cruise booked that's back to back. But otherwise, you got to get off the ship. So again, I really hope we do make it to Ocean Key because the last cruise that we were on earlier this month in March, we were supposed to be overnight in Ocean Key, and unfortunately, because of the weather, the ship was not able to dock, so we were not able to see Ocean Key whatsoever, and so that was kind of a sad point, but we're going to get a chance to get there again. So Looking forward to that. We did rent a ocean clam or a clamshell, which is the covering, so you can sit on the beach. And we're going to do the lighthouse tour, which we've done before, but wanted to go ahead and do that again. And I believe that was it on Ocean Key. Now, tomorrow I do have an excursion on board the ship since we're going to be at sea, and it's going to be a private tour or a private group tour of the bridge of the ship. I've never been on one of those, and on this ship I noticed that was an excursion, so I thought it'd be great to go ahead and book that excursion. So I'm going to see if I can get some video from it. Might not be able to because there were some restrictions. I might only have pictures, but that's fine. It's going to be exciting. Another excursion that we do have, of course, in Puerto Plata is just a sightseeing tour. Same thing in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now in San Juan, Puerto Rico, we're going to be there until 11 p.m. So I was able to book 2 different excursions for San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I'll get some video for that. So till then, let me give you a quick shot of the balcony and the view. So of course, you have your chairs. There's 2 chairs. There's the table you can use as a footrest, or if you're going to do breakfast, you can have breakfast on it. It is the glass bottom half, so you get a full view when you're sitting here from inside. Of course, it's not the biggest balcony ever, but it's a standard size balcony in the ship. So we'll give you a look at Miami here. We're looking out towards South Beach, and if you will see in the distance is the icon of the seas. And of course, just above that is the bridge. So that's how this works. Again, we're on port side. So of course, icon of the seas, the largest ship in the world, largest cruise ship in the world. Pretty excited to possibly go on there at some time. Right now, it's super expensive, but we're talking about over $1,600 per person for a 4-night cruise. And, that's just not the type of budget I'm going to use on a cruise. Not yet, at least. It's a little bit more of a view of Florida, South Beach, than towards downtown. And then, of course, you see part of the seascape. As you see, as the pan down side of the seascape, there are some balcony rooms that have a hot tub. So obviously those are going to be some suites. And you will also see down this promenade area, there is a pretty large hot tub down there along the side of the ship. Kind of look down some more at the promenade. There's another hot tub. We'll get you a view of some of the other amenities on the ship itself. So that's Diabetic Cruiser. I am Ernest, and we're signing off for now. We'll have some other videos.